Sandoval James, y es realmente muy interesante estar con él. Él es una persona muy experimentada en el área de litigio. Él lucha por todos los derechos de nuestros radioescuchas, de nuestros clientes en la corte. Y pues bueno, el día de hoy vamos a estar con un programa bilingüe. Vamos a estar en un programa bilingüe. Él va a estar hablando en inglés y voy a hacerle algunas cuestiones. Pero bueno, sabemos que nuestra audiencia también es mexicoamericana y es bien importante que atendamos a esa audiencia. Así es que bueno, vamos a iniciar con una oración. Señor, te damos gracias en esta mañana por las bendiciones que nos das. Te bendecimos tu nombre, Señor. Bendicimos a aquella persona y te pedimos que los bendigas con bendiciones sobreabundantes. Bendice a esas personas que van a hacer sus trabajos. Bendice a esas personas que tienen algún tipo de necesidad. Gracias por las palabras que nos da, Señor. Gracias porque estamos aquí. Gracias porque podemos atender y servir a nuestra comunidad. Esto te lo pedimos y te damos gracias en el nombre de Cristo. Amén. Vámonos a un corte comercial y regresamos con Benedict James.
Soy Sandoval de Sandoval James, su abogado de lesiones personales por accidente y de inmigración. Marca hoy al 888-888-0210, 888-888-0210. Las consultas son gratis, porque tienen derechos, lucharemos por ellos.
Somos Sandoval James, su abogado de lesiones personales por accidente y de inmigración. Marca hoy al 888-888-0210. Las consultas son gratuitas. Escúchanos en tu programa La Palabra Legal, en tu estación favorita. Porque tienes derechos, lucharemos por ellos. ¿Has estado en un accidente? ¿No sabes qué hacer? Llámanos al 888-888-0210. Estamos abiertos las 24 horas del día. Las consultas son gratuitas. Porque tienes derechos, lucharemos por ellos. Okay, amigos. Well, Benedict, how are you? Tell me about you, Ben. What's your specialty, or what are you doing in Sandoval and James?
Okay, so I am the James in Sandoval and James.
Okay.
And my name is Benedict James. I go by Ben. I've done personal injury for over 10 years.
Okay.
And I have a lot of different experience in different aspects of personal injury. A lot of it has to do with court work. I've done trials all over Texas, Collin County, Tarrant County, Nueces County here in Travis County, so really all over.
Oh, okay.
And gotten results for clients. In my career, I have done more than I've done thousands of different cases in personal injury, doing this for more than 10 years. And I've really developed a specialty in personal injury and in court work.
Great. And what about your family?
So I have two daughters. My wife, I've been married for 11 years, 12 years coming up here in May.
Wow.
And two daughters, 11 and 15. So I got one coming into first year of high school, and that's been something.
That's great. And where did you study?
So I studied. My undergraduate degree was here in Austin. I grew up in Austin.
Okay.
And went to UT here. Graduated in 3 years instead of 4. So I was pretty happy to go in there and do it quickly. Eager to go to law school, and went to law school in Waco, in Baylor.
Waco, wow.
Yes, and Baylor recently, actually, I saw a heading in the news that they were nationally ranked as second in trial advocacy this year. So and that's one of the reasons why I went to Baylor, because they're very good trial advocacy school, and I really began my interest in trial work when I was there, and then continued throughout my career.
That sounds great. And tell me, Ben, we're gonna talk about personal injury today, and explain me, because that's a lot of questions when you hire an attorney, when you hire an insurance company. But the first question for you, I got this: is there any time when you can trust an insurance company?
Well, the sad news and the sad answer to that is unfortunately no. And let me kind of describe why that is. Because a lot of people, no one's really familiar with the industry unless you're actually part of it or you do what I do. But most people think they have an idea because they deal with insurance companies their whole life. You have to have, it's mandatory in Texas, for instance, to have your car insurance. So people
Liability, right?
Liability, right?
Yeah.
So people think that they have an idea about what insurance is about. They think that that sometimes they can trust at least their insurance company and those things. And the easiest way for me to describe why I say that really there's no situation where you can trust an insurance company, unfortunately, is because if you really look at the economics of it. Okay. So you hire me as an attorney for personal injury work, I am not going to get paid unless I get a result for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not just my feeling to want to do good for you. It's not just because I want to help you out because it's what I believe in doing, but also I can't get paid unless I help you out and get a good result for you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, insurance does not work that way.
Okay.
So in insurance, they get their money by collecting it from you. Okay.
Yeah.
So you have to pay your premium every month.
Yeah.
And
Up front. Yeah.
right. And so they get that money in, and it's a lot of money from all the different people that use this insurance company. And then they make their money by not paying claims.
Exactly.
Okay. So, and this is very, very simple. People, I think all people kind of know this, but don't necessarily think about it. But if something happens and you file a claim and the insurance company figures out a way not to pay you, well, they just made money. And that's the reality of it. So what that means is, and I'm going to use a fancy term here, and it has a legal context to it, but also I think it's a term that people understand and use too, which is this idea of conflict of interest.
Yeah.
Okay, now I want to talk about it because it's not that I'm saying that the law prevents them from doing what they're doing. It allows it. But you definitely have a bit of a conflict of interest when you're sitting there and you let's say you're an insurance adjuster and you're thinking about paying a claim, but then you know that you make more money by not paying it.
Yeah.
So it's a very difficult issue, and because of that, I think that a lot of adjusters, they try to do a good job. And I'm not telling you that all insurance companies are not going to pay you anything. I mean, they'll pay you something, but because of that conflict between what is good for the insurance company and what is good for you, that a lot of times what you see is many times claims not getting paid what they should unless you hire an attorney.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the important part of why you need to think about an attorney, is because that's the one thing that the system cannot prevent you from doing.
And that's going to be the next question, Ben.
Okay.
Let me translate for you. Miren, amigos, le preguntaba yo a Ben, rápidamente se los voy a tratar de resumir. Yo le preguntaba, ¿por qué podríamos confiar en una compañía de seguros? Y la respuesta que nos está dando es que desafortunadamente no podemos confiar en una compañía de seguros. ¿Por qué? Porque ellos hacen dinero con el dinero de tus pólizas. Ellos hacen dinero al tratar de no pagar un siniestro, un accidente. Y él hablaba de una palabra que es un poco como especial en el área jurídica, que es un conflicto de intereses. Hay un conflicto de intereses ahí. ¿Por qué? Porque el seguro se supone que debe defenderte o cubrir esos riesgos, pero desafortunadamente él quiere ganar dinero al no pagar. Entonces por ahí existe un conflicto de intereses y él nos dice que desafortunadamente no podemos confiar en ellas. Okay, that's right, Ben. Let's take a break with our sponsors and we will be back. Thank you.
Ya no conocen. Soy Sandoval de Sandoval James, su abogado de lesiones personales por accidente y de inmigración. Marca hoy al 888-888-0210. 888-888-0210. Las consultas son gratis. Porque tienen derechos, lucharemos por ellos.
Somos Sandoval James, su abogado de lesiones personales por accidente y de inmigración. Marca hoy al 888-888-0210. Las consultas son gratuitas. Escúchanos en tu programa La Palabra Legal, en tu estación favorita. Porque tienes derechos, lucharemos por ellos. ¿Has estado en un accidente? ¿No sabes qué hacer? Llámanos al 888-888-0210. Estamos abiertos las 24 horas del día. Las consultas son gratuitas. Porque tienes derechos, lucharemos por ellos. Okay, Ben, this is the next question. If you cannot trust the insurance company, as you say, why you should trust the lawyers, the attorney? Why?
Right, and we kind of touched on that a little bit before we had the break. And again, this kind of idea of what the economics are. So, my firm, Sandoval James, we do not get paid on personal injury claims until we have that result. Yeah. And that result could take 6 months, it could take a year, it could take multiple years. And when you're one of our clients, you don't have to worry about expenses. You know, if a lawsuit unfortunately needs to be filed, you don't have to worry about that expense. Other litigation expenses, if a deposition needs to be taken, you don't have to worry about that expense. All those things come out of the law firm paying for them. And then at the end of the process, when there is a result, because I say that because 99% of the time we will get your result if you hire us. And only at the end of the process do we actually get paid. And we get paid a percentage. So the better job we do for you, then the more we get paid as well. So economically, when you hire us, we are in it with you, and we do better if you do better. Well, and that's one of the reasons why when you hire an attorney, because most personal injury lawyers work that way, you can actually kind of depend on this person, and because they don't have this conflict that we were talking about that insurance companies have. We don't have this conflict of interest where the economics are put in conflict with what your ethical duties are. Because insurance companies, they have ethical duties. There's insurance code and there's other codes and laws that govern the insurance industry. But when you have a situation where ethically you're supposed to do one thing, but it's better for your checkbook to do something else, well, you know, a lot of times people are not going to do the right thing. And when you hire an attorney, those things, there is no conflict. Yeah. What I do with, what's better for you is better for me, and it goes along with the ethical duties. One of which is that as an attorney, per the ethics rules here in Texas and in I think virtually every state, if not every state, you have to zealously represent your client. So the moment that you become my client, and the moment you become a client for another attorney, because those attorneys are also governed by those rules, then we as the attorney have to do what we can to do what's best for you. Exactly. Whereas the insurance companies, they weigh things, right? And so that's also another reason why you can trust your attorney, but you can't trust the insurance company. And another thing that's very, very important is insurance companies. There's a lot of talk about attorneys having money and having influence and these kinds of things. We are nothing compared to the insurance industry, okay? I mean, there's very few firms that are national. You have all these big insurance companies. You see Geico, you see USAA, you see these commercials, Liberty Mutual. I mean, constant commercials on this stuff. And the difference between the commercials you see on TV between the insurance companies and attorneys is typically the ones you see with the insurance companies, they're nationally based. Yeah. Okay. So these companies, they have, a lot of power, and they make themselves seem like they're the good guys. You see Allstate those commercials and you see the hands,
Yeah.
you know, and their whole message is trying to make you feel safe. They're going to do the right thing for you. And you constantly see this with insurance companies. And you feel as a consumer,
Yeah.
you feel as a citizen of Texas that you know you can trust the industry, you can trust your insurance company, you can trust your adjuster, but the reality of it is that you can trust your attorney.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's the main thing.
You can't, unfortunately.
Or you have to trust your attorney.
Well, you know, unfortunately, there are some rare situations where the attorney is not doing their job, and then in that situation, maybe you can't. But when you hire someone, because everything is aligned in a way to where you can trust this person,
Yeah.
including the economics, you're actually in a situation where you can actually trust that person.
Yeah.
Whereas the insurance companies, unfortunately, it's a bunch of talk, but at the end of the day, they're not going to help you.
That's great, Ben. Thank you. And I'm going to translate for our Hispanics. Amigos, lo que hablábamos y la pregunta que le hice yo a Ben es, si tú no puedes confiar de tu compañía de seguros, ¿cómo podrías confiar de tu abogado? ¿Cuáles son? Esa es la pregunta. ¿Cómo podría yo confiar de un abogado? Y Ben nos decía que en esta firma, en su firma Sandoval James, ellos lo que hacen para darle más confianza al cliente, y la gran mayoría de los abogados lo hacen así, es que la firma no gana ni un solo peso, ni un solo centavo, ni un solo dólar si ellos no ganan el caso. Esa es la mayor garantía. Es decir, si no gana el caso, no gana el dinero, no te va a cobrar nada. No tendrías. Y ahora el otro punto que hablaba es que un abogado va a ganar por porcentaje. Entonces, entre más recupere para ti, él más va a ganar. Entonces esa es una garantía que tienes que tomar en cuenta, ¿verdad? El porcentaje que te está cobrando el abogado, y tienes que verificar ese porcentaje. Ahora, dice también Ben que tú no tienes que preocuparte por cómo vas a contratar o quién va a ser tu abogado. O desafortunadamente las compañías de seguros tienen estos comerciales que te tratan de dar seguridad, pero al final de quien tú tienes que confiar es de tu abogado. El abogado es lo más importante. ¿Por qué? Porque las compañías de seguros, pues desafortunadamente tienen ahí un conflicto de intereses, y pues bueno, siempre te van a tratar de dar confianza para venderte. Pero recordemos que de quien tú tienes que confiar es de tu abogado. Okay, let's take a break and we will be back. Thank you.
Ya me conocen, soy Sandoval de Sandoval James, su abogado de lesiones personales por accidente y de inmigración. Marca hoy al 888-888-0210, 888-888-0210. Las consultas son gratis, porque tienen derechos, lucharemos por ellos.
Somos Sandoval James, su abogado de lesiones personales por accidente y de inmigración. Marca hoy al 888-888-0210. Las consultas son gratuitas. Escúchanos en tu programa La Palabra Legal, en tu estación favorita. Porque tienes derechos, lucharemos por ellos. ¿Has estado en un accidente? ¿No sabes qué hacer? Llámanos al 888-888-0210. Estamos abiertos las 24 horas del día. Las consultas son gratuitas. Porque tienes derechos, lucharemos por ellos. Okay, Ben, and this is the next question for you. Why is it so important to people to hire a lawyer immediately after the accident?
Okay, and this question now makes a lot of sense with the context of what we have been talking about here. Because think about it this way. So we know now that the insurance companies, unfortunately, we can't trust. And now you're in a situation where you're asking for their help. Something has happened, you have a claim, and you believe that rightfully you should be compensated. And this instance happened right away. Now, of course, you communicate with your insurance company, if there's some kind of emergency and that kind of thing. But the moment that you can hire an attorney, you need to do that. And why is that? It's because of what we just talked about. The attorney immediately will start working on your case, and they will have your best interest at heart.
Okay.
So, and the attorneys are specialists, personal injury lawyers are, in knowing the situation that you're dealing with. A lot of times I deal with a lot of car crashes. That is, one of the most common type of personal injury cases. And I know every aspect of those cases from the moment the incident happens until a possible trial way in the future. So I know every type of paperwork, every conversation that comes into play, how I can influence that to where it's to your benefit. Unfortunately, in the moment that you have an incident, whether it's your fault or it's not your fault, the insurance companies involved are at play and they're trying to save money.
Okay.
So that's why it's so important to get that attorney right away, because you have someone there who will guide you and will make sure that you do the things that you need to do to get the result that you need to get.
Yeah.
You cannot assume that they're going to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And we already kind of talked about why that is. You can't assume that they're going to take the high road and make sure that you're taken care of and that your interests are first. Unfortunately, that is our system.
Okay.
What I want to do and what's very important to me is that people are educated on what the system is. And I try to, as much as I can, when I'm talking to you and talking to our listeners, that I'm telling them and giving them information of what is, not just my opinion on the situation. Yeah. And that's why you need an attorney. Now, when picking an attorney, okay, I think we do a very good job. Now, obviously, I'm biased, okay, so I think Sandoval James is the best law firm here. But what you need to do is make sure you do your research and do that in advance. Unfortunately, all of us are going to be probably in our lifetime in several accidents. Yeah. It's probability. We know people, loved ones, we have friends that may be in some kind of situation. So do your research and know a law firm that is really going to take care of you.
Yeah, now we always do the research for when you buy anything or hire for another service. What is the best way do you think you can do that research?
Yes. Well, one thing is, TV commercials, for instance, they don't give us too much information.
Yeah.
Okay, see 15 seconds, 30 seconds.
They say millions, no? They say,
yes. So, unfortunately, you're not going to get a lot of information from that. What you do know is whoever's advertising have the money to spend on it. So, apparently, there's that. But that in itself doesn't give you a lot of information. Is this law firm going to take care of me? Or are they going to do a good job for me? And I have nothing against TV commercials. We have some of those ourselves. So it's not that I'm speaking something against lawyers who do that. But in terms of you doing your job to figure out who the best lawyer is, I think the internet is a better resource.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's a very good resource.
Yeah.
And then the reason why is because you can get a lot more information from the internet.
Yeah.
And what you want to do is don't just look at one source. I mean, look at the different lawyers, different options out there. Look at their websites. Look at the information they have there. It can be very valuable information. And then also look at the reviews that they have from other people. I think those are very helpful. Okay. And we take pride in our reviews. Our reviews are based off of clients that we've helped.
Okay.
And what people are saying, matters, because that's someone who has had the service of the firm, and it's their opinion about how it went. So that's valuable. Of course, you have friends, family, and a lot of times people rely on folks like that, or in their life, and I think that's useful too. So I think the more, the better.
Yeah.
And if you have an issue, you can always call us. We have an 800 number, 888-888-0210. If you want to contact us, we also have a local number, 512-382-7700.
They can talk to you directly?
Yes, absolutely. So my firm, we have multiple lawyers.
Yeah.
We have a large firm because, we've done a good job, so a lot of people are coming to us. And myself and my law partner, Esteban Sandoval, we manage the whole firm. And I get involved in all the different cases. They're in litigation. So I deal in situations where the insurance companies are being very unreasonable, and so we need to file a lawsuit. And so I'm involved with all these cases.
Great.
So if someone wants to talk with me, they just request that, and I will speak with them.
Excellent. Ben, the times fly. Thank you for being here. It's a great information for our listeners. Thank you so much, and we're going to pray, but we're going to pray in Spanish, okay? Thank you, God. Gracias, Dios, por las bendiciones que nos das. Te agradecemos porque estuvo aquí con nosotros nuestro amigo Ben. Bendice su vida, bendice su familia. Gracias por nuestros clientes. Te agradecemos por todas las bendiciones que nos das. Bendice sus lesiones. Bendice, sánalos, Señor. Sanan a todos aquellos que están enfermos. Esperamos que esta información haya llegado a sus corazones y haya sido de provecho para ellos. Esto lo pedimos y lo agradecemos en el nombre de Jesús. Amén.
Esto fue La Palabra Legal. Sandoval y James. Te informaremos sobre todo lo legal que te importa. Lesiones personales e inmigración. 888-888-0210. 888-888-0210. La Palabra Legal. Porque tienes derechos, luchamos por ellos.
I once was lost with a broken heart, trying to fill it with all the wrong things. I still remember the life I knew until you came down to set me free. I am never, never, ever, ever going back, 'cause you're better, better than what I had. So whatever, ever, weather comes my way, do not be afraid, your heart is yearning, burning to be set ablaze. So I celebrate your love that is with me on my days. When you bring the spirit, I'll bring the praise. I'll bring the praise. I've passed through waters that overwhelmed me. I know too well all the hurt and pain, but you say there's still more to my story. So I'm never, never, ever, ever looking back, 'cause you're better, better than what I had. So whatever, ever, weather comes my way, still I can hear you say, for I'm with you. Do not be afraid, your heart is yearning, burning to be set ablaze. So I celebrate your love that is with me on my days. When you bring the spirit, I'll bring the praise. I'll bring the praise.
Yeah. Old life full of sin wasn't good to me. It's in the past, I ain't never going back to it. Yeah, the spirit in the place now, everybody say
Hallelujah.
So we gon' praise him from the valley to the mountaintop, bringing the praise in the storm, no it never stop. Time at it, giving praise to the most high. Forever with us, the spirit leading us through the fire.
With you. Your heart is yearning, burning. So I celebrate your love that is with me on my days. When you bring the spirit, I'll bring the praise. I'll bring the praise. Hallelujah. I'll bring the praise. Hallelujah.
¿Cómo es que tú nunca te alejas? Aunque yo me alejé de ti, amor que me cambió. A donde voy tú vas de cerca y yo sigo volviendo a ti. Tú siempre estás aquí. Amaste todo lo que soy, nunca me falta. Siempre está tu amor. Quitaste todo mi dolor, nunca me falta. Siempre está tu amor. Oh, 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 oh. Siempre está tu amor. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Siempre está tu amor. Oh, 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 oh. ¿Cómo es que conociendo todo no dejas de creer en mí? Amor que me cambió. ¿Cómo es que siempre estás presente? Aunque yo no te vea a ti, tú siempre estás aquí. Amaste todo lo que soy, nunca me falta. Siempre está tu amor. Quitaste todo mi dolor, nunca me falta. Siempre está tu amor. Oh, 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 oh. Siempre está tu amor. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Siempre está tu amor. Oh, 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 oh. Ya no puedo si no está tu amor. Ya no quiero si no está. Ya no puedo si no está tu amor. Ya no puedo si no está tu amor, ya no quiero si no está. Ya no puedo si no está tu amor. Oh, 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 oh. Ya no puedo si no está tu amor, ya no quiero si no está. Ya no puedo si no está tu amor. Siempre está tu amor. Amaste todo lo que soy, nunca me falta. Siempre está tu amor. Quitaste todo mi dolor. Oh, 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 oh. Siempre está tu amor. Ya no puedo si no está tu amor, ya no quiero si no está. Ya no puedo si no está tu amor. Oh, 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 oh. Ya no puedo si no está tu amor, ya no quiero si no está. Ya no puedo si no está tu amor. Oh, 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 oh. Ya no puedo si no está tu amor, ya no quiero si no está. Ya no puedo si no está tu amor. Señor, le conté lo agradecido que estoy yo con usted. El privilegio que me ha dado nunca podría pagarle, lo sé. No existe una moneda, no hay oro o plata en este mundo. Fue su amor hacia nosotros, lo sé, lo sé. Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé, yo lo sé. Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé, yo lo sé. Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé. Me ama a mí. Y yo lo sé. Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé. Yo lo sé. Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé. Yo lo sé. Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé. Me ama a mí. Y yo lo
Deje y le cuento, Señor, lo agradecido que me siento. A veces me impaciento y tranquilo ni en mi asiento. Es que siento el deber de llegarles a cientos que viven engañados mundo se está hundiendo, jóvenes se están muriendo por sus propias manos y de usted viven huyendo. Gracias por rescatarme.
Gracias,
cuando
Señor.
ya casi me moría. Gracias por darme amor.
Tú llegaste a mi
Porque
vida.
en amor yo no creía.
Gracias, Dios.
Gracias por rescatarme.
Todo lo que
cuando
hacemos.
ya casi me moría.
Te amo, Jesús.
Gracias por darme amor.
Gracias.
Cuando en amor yo no creía. Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé.
Yo lo sé.
Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé.
Yo lo sé.
Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé.
Usted me ama a mí.
Y yo lo sé. Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé.
Yo lo sé.
Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé.
Yo lo sé.
Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé.
Usted me ama a mí.
Y yo lo agradecido por la vida, por los hijos, por los viejos, agradecido por su amor y por su consuelo, por la palabra, por el aire, por el mar, los riachuelos, agradecido por la lluvia y por mis abuelos. No hay una manera como describirle. El creador del mundo vino a este mundo y se hizo hombre por amor. No hay una manera como describirle. El creador del mundo vino a este mundo y se hizo hombre por amor. Señor, le conté lo agradecido que estoy yo con usted. El privilegio que me ha dado, nunca podría pagarle, lo sé. No existe una moneda, no hay oro o plata en este mundo. Fue su amor hacia nosotros, lo sé, lo sé. Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé.
Yo lo sé.
Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé.
Yo lo sé.
Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé.
Usted me ama a mí.
Y yo lo sé. Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé.
Yo lo sé.
Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé.
Yo lo sé.
Y yo lo sé, yo lo sé.
Usted me ama a mí.
Y yo lo sé. Ey, agradecido con usted, Señor. Entregar su vida para darme la mía es la mayor evidencia de que usted me ama. Yo lo sé. Yahweh te Benji, representando al mejor de los mejores. Jay-Z, yo. Y en la pista, Herbert, el creativo musical.
J-Dan, J. Khalil.
Fuerte es la batalla, alta es la muralla. Quiere hacerme sentir que ha llegado mi fin. Fuerte es la batalla, alta es la muralla. Pero me aferro a creer que más grande es tu poder. Al final todo pasará, puedo confiar. Tu luz brillará, la tormenta no perdurará. Puedo confiar, todo pasará, 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 todo pasará. Yo soy testigo del poder, sé que Dios lo puede hacer. Si por medio de la fe vi corriendo toda muralla, pues créele en lo que te da poder para que de tu situación vayas despidiéndote. Solo confía en aquel que nunca te dejó caer. Es quien trae paz y alivio. No te canses de mirar lo que te ha prometido. Ese abrigo en el momento frío. Y quien dice que no irá contigo. Al final todo pasará. Puedo confiar. Tu luz brillará. La tormenta no perdurará. Puedo confiar. Todo pasará. Ni la capa de ozono ni el ambiente me separa, sé que estás presente. La tormenta no es permanente, quizás no es favorable. Lo que vivo me hace vulnerable, pero tu palabra sé que es más que confiable. Recibí un golpe inesperado, caí al suelo pensando que estaba noqueado, pero todo cambió y me favoreció cuando tu mano a la escena La combinación que ustedes siempre piden, yeah. Reborn Music, Kendry el especialista, yeah. Reborn Music. Las promesas que están en la palabra de parte de Dios son muy claras. Planes de bien y no de mal tengo yo contigo, eso dijo él. Amén. Así que lo único que no puede pasar es su palabra. Todo lo demás pasará.
Todo pasará.
Una y otra vez, una y otra vez, una y otra vez, una y otra vez. Llegaste a mi vida de repente. Nunca pensé que a mí esto me fuera a pasar. Tengo que aceptarlo, es sorprendente. No me resisto con tu forma de mirar. En tus ojos me veo en el cielo. Solo sigue mirándome así. Por mirarte lo dejo todo sin miedo. Te siento así, sigo encontrándome en ti, yeah. Una y otra vez. Tus ojos reflejan entero el universo y puedo comprender lo que no podía entender. Solo en ti es posible.